Hi, it's Brittany from Empurrium. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to sew the Aries Crossbody. It's a pattern from Knotted Threads Co. It's super cute. I really like it. If you've watched other videos, you probably already know I love Knotted Threads. Shannon's awesome. Her patterns are amazing. This is only the second time I have sewn the regular Aries. But I've made multiple modified ones and I tested the Pisces pack too. So the original has these two exterior zipper pockets. There is this little magnetic gusset strap, and then you have a zipper pocket inside as well. I did a 1-inch wide vinyl crossbody strap on this, and then I'll tell you the materials I used. I used the Barbara Pink vinyl from More Me Know. I really love this vinyl. I used my sublimation polyester blank fabric, and I put a print on it that I do run, but the artwork is from Hex Reject. Oh, hey, Donut. I missed you, bud. You gotta come over here. I didn't change anything in the pattern. I made it exactly as it says, I think, to my knowledge. I hope you enjoy. I have a cutting video for it also if you want to check that out. And then eventually I'll have a Pisces pack video as well. I just want to say a special thank you to my channel members and my Patreons. I really appreciate you. I hope you enjoy. If you haven't subscribed already, I would love if you did. And have a great day. So before we sew the Aries, I want to go over the pieces. I have a 1-inch wide crossbody strap. So that's the vinyl I had cut 4 inches wide, and then I did a double fold. You can use whatever crossbody method you want. So I stitched that already. I'm setting it to the side for a moment. Here is the gusset flap. This piece I did not have cut out in my cutting video because I couldn't find my template and I needed to cut it from paper. So we will set that for prep. And then as far as like hardware goes, I've got the magnet, which we're going to be using with that piece. And then I have my crossbody strap hardware, which I'll need at the end. I have my 2 D-rings. I'll need those at the end. I have my little logo, which I'll set to the side to remember. And then I have my 2 exterior zippers and my interior zipper pull. And then I have those zippers. This one's split apart, but I'll put it back together. These are the D-ring connectors for the crossbody strap. We're going to be prepping those first as well. We have our upper gusset lining pieces, our gusset lining piece. We have exterior zipper tabs and the interior zipper tabs. We have some stabilizer pieces, our exterior gusset, upper lining pieces. These are the lining pieces for the interior zipper pocket, and I marked the centers. We have our exterior zipper pocket lining pieces. I marked the centers. We have our 2 main exterior pieces, and I think I said the one piece wrong because this is an interior pocket piece too for the lining. So yes, what we are going to do first is we're going to prep connectors and we're going to edge paint them, and I'm also going to be fancy and edge paint the ends of my crossbody strap, which I do not always do. But I have already taped these pieces together, and then I'm going to go ahead and take this pattern piece here and I'm going to mark the placement for my magnet. Okay, I know it's kind of hard to see. Maybe I can grab a different colored pen. Right, so it goes right there. And we're going to be using the male side of the magnet. And she has you fuse a piece of this interfacing here. By all means, go ahead and do that. I tend to just put my interfacing on without fusing it. So I'm going to mark for the magnet and cut the spots. Okay. Now what I do is I will go ahead and push this into there, and then I'll take this stabilizer piece and I'll just make 2 little snips, put it down on there, and then you're gonna have to fold in. Sorry, I'm trying to find my screwdriver. If you're a person that likes folding the magnets prongs out, you just obviously can't because it's going to be on the edges there. And then we're going to take some tape and run that down the sides here. And then you could have cut out all these pieces, like having cut 2 of each. Well, 4 of those, 2 of this. But I really like doing it this way because it's easier for me than having to line it all up and then sew it. So we're just going to go ahead and push that down. And now we're going to stitch around the edges of these 3 connectors. And the reason we're working on these first is we really want to do them first so we can start the edge painting. Alright, so make sure you start and stop at the flat part of this connector, because that's the part that's going to be inside the bag and then it won't be seen. Take your time on those curves too. Just always make sure that your needle is down when you lift the foot to pivot. And then you also want to be pivoting when the needle is on its way back up so that the stitch has been completed. Sometimes I feel weird saying it in a lot of videos, but just have to remember, not everyone has seen them all. Alright, so we've got 1 down. Okay. Oh, my thread got a little funky. Alright, so for these ones, I like starting, let's see if she says where she starts. Oh, she also put a little bit of tape over this to protect it. So if you think you need to, definitely go ahead and do that. She starts at the very end. So I usually start right where the straight part is, and I'm going to leave my thread tails long. The skinnier part of this connector is going to be on the inside of the bag, so you really won't see it, and then it kind of folds over, so the side that you make knots really isn't going to be seen. But you also want to like start and stop in the part that's going to be folded into the bag. It's just better. Okay, and now that I'm over here, I'm gonna go ahead and pull this thread through, and I'm gonna knot it and trim it before I make it back there, just so that these threads are out of my way. And then you want to start and stop in the same hole. And then pull that thread also. And knot it. Struggling with thread today. Okay, and then you can take and just seal those real quick. And I'm going to stitch the other one off camera just because I don't want too much repetitive because it can get really long for the video. But with these two pieces together and stitched together now, nothing's gonna shift, and you can just follow the already cut side and it'll help you make them really even. So there's one, and then we'll go ahead and do this one too. So we're going to be edge painting these, and my plan is I'll show you each step of edge coating I do, but I'm only going to edge coat one piece on camera. Again, it's just would be a lot. Okay, so I'll go ahead and do this one. So something you can do is you can take clips and put them together like so and create a little base to set your pieces on for drying. But I'm going to be using Base Coat Dense from Giardini. I'm going to use my Hot Pink Angelus paint. It looks really not mixed, but it's a really pretty, like, it looks like Pepto-Bismol. I really like it. It's fine. So I'll use that for the color, and then I will use the protecting gloss as a final gloss coat. So we'll do the base coat first. We'll probably need to do 2 coats. Also, you can sand in between coats. The base coat is what truly makes it, words. These are hard to open sometimes. It's what helps build it up, and that's what's going to give you like the nice shape. I'm also going to edge paint these edges here. I never do that, but I asked myself, what would Shannon do? Shannon would use strap ends, but I think edge painting is going to look good. So, all right. So you just want to take that base coat, and the first coat's really just kind of soak in. You don't want to put it on too heavy because you don't want it spilling out over the edges. So edge coating can get a little messy. Sometimes you just kind of have to run your finger on the edge and make sure it's not spilling over, because however it dries is how it's going to be. You just got to wash your hands as you go. At least I do. It's worth it. It looks so good when it's done. But just go around And this base coat is filling in like the cracks between your layers of vinyl. The better your base coat looks, the better the final product will be, because you don't really want to build with the color either. You just want the color to cover it up. I feel like I sound like I'm some professional. I am not. I've done it a bit, but not a professional. So there is my coat number 1. Like I said, I'm going to set it to the side like this. And then basically as we go sewing the bag up, we can do the layers. We will need that piece I just painted sooner than later, but like these connectors are the very last thing that goes on, and then the strap clips to it. So I'm gonna sew this, cut it, and I'm gonna finish my first base coat, and then I'll be back to move on with the bag. We can move on to some assembly now. So we are going to grab these following pieces, and they are, sorry, I was on the wrong page, thought I was on the right one. These are the upper main linings, the lower main linings, and these are different heights. The interior zipper tabs, the interior zipper tape with the pull, and the interior zipper lining. Okay, so we have these pieces. You need to put your zipper pull on. She says to slide it about halfway, and then we are going to take the interior zipper tabs, and I want to kind of see, maybe I can make these the ones that show. So I'm going to place them right sides down on my zipper tape. So this one, I'll just lay it like that and then flip it over. Okay, and then we need to put the others on the back, and I'm not really worried about their orientation. I'll know that they have cute little dice on them, but I don't think anyone else will that hasn't watched this video. All right, so we are going to sew these on. Okay, so now we have those sewn on both ends. We're going to pull them back, press them, and we're going to top stitch. Trim these apart. Okay, so here is the zipper so so cute. Okay, and then we need to mark the center. On both ends. Okay. Okay, and then we need the shorter lower main lining, and we need to take the zipper and match it up right sides together. Oh, I'm so sorry. So clip that together, and then you're gonna baste that. Needle down when you lift the foot to move your zipper pull. Okay. Sorry. Okay, now we need the inside, and I am going to want mine to go like this, right? So when you open it and look inside, it's right side up. So I'm gonna need this part to go to here, because that's going to wrap around and then that's gonna come up. So I didn't mark the center, but I can line it up. It's gonna hang over the end a little anyways, I think. Yeah, okay. Sorry. All right, so this is a 3/8 on the zipper, and I really struggle getting 3/8 on the zipper. I have a narrow workspace foot, but I do not have a zipper foot for this machine. So I'm just going to get as close as I can. Okay, and then we're going to press this open. And we're going to be top stitching. You can certainly use an iron to press this, but I'm using waterproof canvas, so I really don't want to use an iron here. I'm just finger pressing it really well. Okay, so there is one side of my zipper, and then we're gonna take and fold this lining up to meet the top of the zipper. I don't think you can see, but I can just barely see the print behind through that zipper, and it's actually really cute. Once it's sewn, you won't be able to tell at all. But I'm like, oh, that's cute. Okay, so that is on, and then you can baste that. All right, now we are taking the upper main lining that has the marking for your magnet in the direction she has you fuse the stabilizer there, which I did not do, but I'm going to do it the way I did the other magnet. Okay, so you're going to match up center marks and clip. I'm just making sure. I didn't mark the center of the lining. However, I did mark the center of my zipper. Okay, yeah, they match up. All right, so we're gonna sew that. And again, it is a 3/8 on a zipper. So I'm going to do my best. Okay, and then we're going to press this up and top stitch. The little kitty faces showing are so cute. By the time it all gets sewn, I don't think you'll be able to see them, but adorable. They're so cute. The heart, you can't really tell. I probably should have put the dice there, but oh my gosh. Too cute. Okay, so we're going to flip the lower main lining up. So we have the zipper lining down here. And then we're gonna measure in and make a mark. And then we're gonna trim away. So let's see here. I'm just making a mark. Okay, and then we're cutting that away. So we're going on that line. And then when you get up to the top, you're going to trim from that seam. So make sure this stays flat. Okay. All right, and now you're going to cut along the bottom using the fold as your guide. Okay, and then we're going to clip the bottom. All right, and now we need to keep this flipped up and we're going to be sewing. So we're sewing just below the seam and going down. So she has you draw a horizontal line. Oh, from the bottom. From the bottom? Yeah. But we already put clips here. Oh, after you sew. Haha. Okay. I was like, wait a minute. Read, Brittany. Okay, so we're starting here. Sometimes it's a little hard to get started on that seam. So if you go on the other side and you turn it like so, it's going to be easier to sew against the seam because you're sewing up to it instead of starting at it. Okay, so now this is where you make a line at the bottom. So let me mark that. have marked this, and we're cutting in towards the seam allowance, but not into our stitches. So right where that line is. And then she has you open the snipped section and fold the bottom raw edges up to meet the drawn lines. So I struggle with this. She has you press it. But if you fold that right there, and then that snip helps you separate this to fold it flat. And you would also need to make the mark on both sides, and I didn't. But, so this is the pocket we birth the bag through later. And this is going to help it sit nice and flat. I generally just fold the edge up and then sew, but this does reduce bulk. It is really nice. Okay, so I'm gonna leave that like that. She has a note in here to check on your pieces for edge painting. I'm gonna get through this and then do my edge painting. But now we are going to grab the other lower main lining and our other upper. And she also says here in the pattern, it's a good spot to put like a woven label. And I debated using this lover one, but I think I'm gonna do it. All right, so I'm gonna clip this here. It's just so cute. All right, and then you're gonna match up centers and put these right sides together. And then we're gonna sew these together. And then to match the other side, we're going to fold this up. And top stitch. All right, so these are now our main lining panels. I'll take these clips off when I go to actually sew, but they're just kind of keeping it pressed right now. They're so cute. Oh, I think we need to trim this. Mine didn't match up perfectly, but it looks pretty good. All right. So I'm going to do another coat of base coat on my pieces, and I'll be back to do the next spot, which is the main zipper pocket assembly. So the next thing we're going to do is the main zipper pocket assembly, and I've gathered the pieces. So you need your exterior zipper tape with your zipper pulls on. I have already prepped the top of this one just so we don't have too much repeating. You're going to need your zipper tabs, your main panels. Sorry, I already put my logo on the one. And then there are some marks you need to make, and I've got those on there already. You need your main zipper linings. Also, some marks, I already put them on. And then you're going to need the main zipper linings that we prepped in the last section. I'm going to set those to the side. So I'm going to set all of this to the side because I am going to edge paint. Now, I have done 3 coats of my base coat, and I left. When I'm doing the base coat, you can't really do it with the other steps, but for the base coat, you can like leave it on the tool and then pretty easily peel it off. I know it might not look, but this is, I've found, a pretty easy way to do that. And then sometimes if you have little specks of paint left, it'll like peel it off too. So this paint, like I said, does not look mixed. It never ever looks mixed, no matter how much I have tried, but that's okay. Occasionally I'll get a little bit of like white spot, like there's still a little bit of swirl. I don't know. Anyways, so like I said, I have done 3 coats of my base coat, and I've been sanding in between, so you can kind of just make sure you have a smooth surface. So this might be the first time I have edge painted straps like this, but you might have like little bumps, like imperfections, but if you just sand, that'll help. I don't really think I need to on this coat. Like I said, this third. Oh, here's a bump. So I don't know if you can see it, but I'm just gonna smooth that out best I can. Sorry, I'm trying to stay in the camera. Maybe if I move my seat closer. Okay, so I'm just not trying to sand off too much, but smooth that out. So you just want to check everything. Also, I forgot when I backstitched here. So she does have you tie off the threads right here. And in my head, I was thinking, you don't see that, but I forgot you do sew it on like it is. So like this does show, but I'm alright with it. It's fine. Okay, so sorry. I'm gonna go ahead and start a coat of color on this. Now, this paint is a different shade of pink, but I think it's gonna look really good because it's more pastel than my vinyl, and it's gonna tie into my print. I'm really excited. I love using this color. I use it with so much. I mean, I use a lot of pink. But it matches with so many other shades so well. So when I'm painting the color, I try to make sure that I am covering all the base coat. I have found, it seems, okay, and there we're just getting any paint off that goes over. I've found it seems like the first base coat and the first color coat take the longest for me. With the base coat on that first one, it's like you have to apply more to fill in like the gaps and stuff. And then with the color, it's just really making sure that you are applying it in the right spots and you're being careful. I think on the second coat of color, you can be a little bit quicker because you don't really have to worry so much that you're covering all these little edges as perfectly. Okay, setting that down is hard to do sometimes. Okay, so you just really want to try to make sure it's not over the edges where it's not supposed to be. Sometimes I get these little bubbles. And let's see, yep, that worked. Okay. Heat can make bubbles pop. So, depending on, yep, that's so cool. Know that from my Tumblr days. Okay, so I'm going to set this to the side. You just want to be extra careful when you're doing the color because it's easier to mess up. I'm going to edge paint these and then we'll be ready to work on the main zipper pocket assembly. So we have all of these pieces to do the main zipper pocket assembly, and Star wants my attention. All right, so you could have edge painted your zipper tabs. I didn't because the sides are like pink. They're not white. You can take a lighter and like get the edges so that they're not frayed if you want. Got a cat hair on my table. What's new? I also used the lighter on the edges of the zipper tape to keep them from fraying. And then I will show you how I prepped this zipper. So you're going to pull it apart and then you're going to fold the zipper down, pinch, and fold like so. So there's one side, then you gotta do it on the other too. I always struggle with the second side of the zipper, no matter whose method I use. Okay, fold, fold. That wasn't too bad. So she tells you to pin these and then sew, but I always just melt my zipper together. You just want to make sure you don't burn yourself, obviously. So you just warm it up a little bit at a time. I think I might need a new lighter soon. Thankfully I have more. Yeah, so sometimes this happens where it just wants to pop back open, and then I'll just clip it and do it again. You just want to make sure you don't melt it enough that you burn yourself. Just a little at a time. Yeah. Really struggling today. Would you believe I did the other one without these problems? Okay, so here's the thing too. I have it like half together. If I just leave my clip here, see, like that one is together. Or you can just sew it like she tells you to. But I have my zipper pull. It's ready to go. So there is a measurement. You want your zipper to be exactly a certain measurement. And I already measured the other one. So I'm going to go ahead and match them up. Okay. Thought I would save us time by doing one, and then it took me forever, so I apologize. Okay. I'm going to work on getting those zipper tabs on now. You're going to take some 1/8 inch double-sided tape and put it at the end of each side of the zipper. For both of them. And then you can take the tape off and you're going to be folding those zipper tabs in half over the zipper tape. Sorry, I have such a hard time with the tape sometimes. All right, so you have it folded in half. Then you want to put the zipper tape in. And you do want it to match up. So even though you have that tape right on the end, I like to just pop clips on it to hold it in place while I do the other one. Then we're going to be top stitching the zipper on, or zipper tab on the zipper. And you just want to do a tiny back stitch to hold it in place. Okay, so there are our zippers, and they should be the same length. Yes, yay. All right, we're gonna mark the centers. And then we're going to be sewing these on, and it is a 3/8 inch zipper, and she does say in there that you really want that 3/8. So I'm going to get as absolutely close as I can because, again, I don't have the zipper foot. So can do what I can. My zippers just might not be as pretty. So you're going to want to make sure you have your measurement marks here, and then you have your centers. You're going to put 1/8 inch tape up here at the top of your main panels. I already did it on one. And this is going to keep your zipper tape really in place, or as in place as it can. All right, so I'm going to start with my front, one with my logo on it. You're going to take the tape off. And we're going to put the zipper tape down, right sides together. Now, one thing for this pattern is you do have those 2 zippers at the top of the bag. If you want them to both go the same way, you need to pay attention to that. If you want them to go opposite directions, you can do that also. You just need to pay attention. I like mine to both close to the left of the front of the bag. But you're going to press this in the center, and then make sure it's on there evenly. Move my clip on that, but I'm going to fix the zipper here in a second. Okay. And then the other side. Okay. So it is nice and on that curve there. Okay. So now we're going to baste this on just on the zipper. You're not going past it. Okay, so there's the first side. It is on. Okay, and then this is the point where she has you draw these little angles on your lining. And then we're going to match up center marks, put your lining right side down, and clip. And we're actually going to be sewing from the other side. So if it bothers you to have your clips in one direction, you can fix that now. So I know some people are very particular about the direction the clip is facing. Sometimes I don't care. Okay, so you're using your basting stitch as a guide for where you're going to start and stop your stitches. Okay, so we're gonna start this, and remember you are supposed to be at a 3/8 for your seam allowance, and I'm gonna do everything I can to get that. So we are stitching from only on the zipper. I'm going to go ahead and move my zipper pull out of the way now. And that basting stitch, not only like we're using it right now to be able to see, but it also definitely is keeping that zipper tape in place. So didn't quite get the 3/8, but I got as close as I could. So you can see my 1/4, and then there's my almost 3/8. Okay. So now we get to do some fun bulk reduction steps. So we're gonna take some pieces of double-sided 1/8 inch tape, and on this lining piece, we're going to put them in the corners. So you want to do that on both. Okay, and then you're going to remove the backing and fold this down to that mark. I don't think I'm going to make it to it. My stitch went a little bit further. My zipper may have been a little too long, but I tried to get it right. All right. Let's see if I can get this one there. Yeah, okay. So I just folded as far as I could. Okay, now on the wrong side of the main panel, we're going to put a little bit of tape just above the line we drew. Okay. Now we're going to fold this so that it's wrong sides together and clip the bottom edge. So line that up. Okay. Then I'm just gonna give a little tug here. Okay. And then you're going to remove the double-sided tape backings here. And you're going to fold the top edge there to that line. Oh, come on. That's wanting to come untaped on me. It's fine. Just gonna clip it right here. Oh, she says you can clip it if you need. So that's what that should look like. So you've got the lining folded out of the way, and then you've got that folded down nicely also. Okay, so everything is lining up. Okay, press it as flat as you can. Gently tug on the zipper. Okay, now we're going to top stitch, and we are going all the way across. Looks good, other than the fact that I thought I held my thread and I kind of didn't. If you ever do that, like, you can work it back out, but that's going to be in the seam, so it's okay. All right, so then you repeat steps for the other zipper and the other exterior panel and the lining. I'll do that. Oh. Oh, my bad. That's not what it said. Oh, goodness. All right, the main zipper lining. And then you do not top stitch yet. Okay, so I'm gonna want this zipper pant to be on the back. So if this is my front, I'm gonna want to use this. Okay, sorry, I got ahead of myself. So let's put some tape on here. Once I finish this part though, I will just do like a little sped up version of doing the other side. Okay, so zipper, match it up. Oh, why do I not have the center mark there? Let's see. That's the center. Okay, let's try this again. Zipper. There's tape and it's sticking to me. It's fine. Okay. Got it. And pulled tape off. I swear, sometimes the tape, I can't get it to stick. And then sometimes it's like, I'm gonna stick to you. Okay. Had a long week. Alright, so you'll baste this on like we did on the other side. Okay. And then line up the lining. And we will be going from this side. Something to note too is it says don't move to top stitching. Yeah, okay. To 26. Yep. Okay. Yeah, so you're only repeating steps up to folding the lining corners down. So we'll just make a note to stop at that part, but okay. We are still stitching this. Again, I'm just getting as close as I can to that 3/8. Okay, so got that sewn. So we got to put the tape on those corners again and fold them down. Okay, and then this one. Oh look, I got them both to fold down. I think what happened on the other side is I think the one side of my zipper tape was just the teeniest bit longer. Okay, so we repeated those steps, and now we're folding the panels to be wrong sides together. So panel and panel. And clipping together. Okay. And then we've got that folded. Okay. And you're just kind of doing what I did on the other side. But you can take here and fold this down. So kind of have to do that on each side. Okay, so that clip is just temporary. And then we're going to press it. And then on this side, which is the lining side, we are only top stitching from the end of the zipper tab to the end of the zipper. Okay. And she says to use long thread tails. So pull my thread a little bit. My lining is really just trying to get at me today. Okay. So we are going to pull our thread tails, so we're not going to backstitch. It's definitely easier. Well, I was gonna say it's easier top stitching the first side of the zipper. This isn't hard. You just have to be careful. And this, I mean, this vinyl I'm using, I love it. It isn't like super thin though. So just gotta fold it down. Okay. Long thread tails. Okay. So you can bury your thread tails too with like a needle and thread. However, I am just going to trim mine and melt my threads. Okay. Okay. So here is the front half of my bag, basically. So cute. Adorable. Okay. So now what I need to do, oh wait, not done. Okay. So sorry. Okay, so we're taking the bottom center markings and the main panel and both main zipper linings. So all of these, and we're clipping the bottoms and the sides of these three together. So not the main lining piece. And these should match up. Okay, so those are clipped together. And then for your top edges, where you have this, we just temporarily clipped that. You're going to clip it flat to your other layers. So like where your fold would be, would match up right there. Okay. And then she staples that. Which does help hold it in place better. It is a little bit hard to hold it in place to get it stapled. Just have to play with it. Okay. Yes. Yep. All right. Okay, so we're going to baste around that, and we're going to catch the main zipper linings and the main lining panel seam allowance. And you back stitch for this baste. All right. I'm going in just a tiny bit on my base, just a little past 1/8 of an inch. Just to make sure I catch everything. Okay. And then I'll go ahead and remove those staples. You could do it without stapling there. But it really does hold it in place. Okay. And then you can fold it down. Zipper looks pretty good. I'm happy with it. So cute. Okay, now truly I'm going to repeat all those steps I just did with the other main panel. Put the zipper on, put the lining on, flip it, top stitch, put the interior lining, the zipper pocket lining, all of those steps. So I'm gonna do that. I thought about time-lapsing it, but I might just poof, it's magically done. While I'm also doing that, I'm gonna do my second coat of color on my other pieces, and I'll be back and they'll magically be done. All right, next we are going to attach the gusset flap and magnet. So you need the main zipper pockets, so those two that we have now finished. Oh, I was like, man, I did the zipper wrong. No, I didn't. It's good. Okay, and then we need the gusset flap. I also did my gloss coat on everything. I just didn't show it, I'm sorry. Also, if you hear anything, Donut is playing with his toy. Okay, and then the other half of the magnet. So I already went ahead and using my ruler, I found the center of the main zipper pocket without the zipper here. And I made a little line, and then on the other one, I found the center and found the center here and made a dot. So this one with the dot, with the zipper pocket, this is the side that's going to get the magnet. So we're gonna pull everything else out of the way. The cats were silent until I started to record. And then we're gonna find that magnet. Come on. Okay. And I'm going to match that up with the circle I made, dot, and I'm going to mark to cut the slits. And when you do this, you just definitely want to make sure that everything else is out of the way. You only want to cut through this panel here. Okay. And then you should technically already have your stabilizer for this fused to the back, but if you're like me, I don't. So I'm going to go ahead and put that on there. And put the washer on. And then you can go ahead and flatten that out. And you can put some tape there if you'd like. And now that magnet is on there. So that can be set to the side. And now we have this piece, and we are going to find the center of it. And you'll want to mark that with a little line. And then we are going to put some tape on here. So if you take the 1/8 inch tape and do 2 little lines here, you are putting this down so that the magnet is like that because it comes around and snaps like that. So it felt really wrong to me the first time, but it is not. Okay. So you're going to take this and you're going to match those little dashes you made and line this up here. And then you can try lining the bottom up here. And you're going to take and mark up on that. And this is a stitch line. So we can definitely leave our threads long here. She suggests opening the zipper so that you can lay this piece flat in here. And then you're basically stitching a box. You're going to stitch around and up to that line and back. And leaving your thread tails long. I'm also going to stitch like in the stitches I already did. As best I can. You won't see this too much. I'll try to pull my threads to the back. Might be a little difficult without. I might just need to finish it. Okay, I'm just going to pull them out of the way. Okay. Now we'll pull those threads and knot them off. And then trim. Okay, so now we have our magnet for the gusset, and that's how that's gonna set. So pretty cool. Okay, after this, we're gonna work on our gusset assembly. So basically we need the rest of the pieces. So we have the exterior gusset, the lining gusset, and the upper lining gusset pieces. Okay, so you're going to take the lower gusset lining, put it right side up. You're going to take the lower gusset lining, this is how it goes. You're going to flip it down and clip those in place. You're going to do that for both ends. And then stitch those together. Okay, so now we top stitch, but there is some bulk reducing we can do, which is really cool. All right, so you're going to use your stabilizer as a reference, and you're going to snip. Do not snip into your stitches though. And then what we're going to do is this is going to go up. We're going to top stitch on the upper, but we are going to open this seam here. And what we're going to do is we're going to stitch around. So we're doing it from the other side. So fold this open, sorry. And then we'll stitch here, make sure all the seam allowance is towards here, and then go over to the other side. The pattern has a lot of great pictures if you need to see it a little bit better. You can definitely reference those. Okay, and then make sure that it's open on the other side as well. No, I can show you better now that it's stitched. Okay, so that is what that looks like. I mean, that could be folded down better, but there is an idea for you. Okay, so again, folding this up, folding this open. Okay, so the gusset lining is done. We got that done. All right, so now we are going to put the exterior gusset right sides together with the lining gusset and clip. Same thing with the other side, make sure it's not twisted. And then we are going to stitch these together, and this makes a loop. The way this goes together is really interesting. It kind of blew my mind when I made it the first time. I just didn't expect it, I guess. Okay. All right, so now we need the loop. That's what it's looking like. And our assembled zipper pockets, which is all of our pieces except for our strap connectors. Okay. All right, so we need one of the main zipper pockets. I'm gonna go ahead and start with the front, and I'm also going to take and open all of my zippers halfway so the zippers are out of the way. This one, I could probably go ahead and let that fall inside of there also. Okay, and then we need the center here. If your mark isn't showing, you can make a new one. And then you're going to take and match up the gusset exterior here. I'm going to go ahead and put a couple of clips in for the straight edge right here. And then without it being twisted, oh, how do I not have these? I thought I marked all my centers. I didn't mark the bottoms. It happens. Okay. Without it being twisted, come on, untwist. You're going to then take the lining side and match up this straight edge. Okay. And you can staple as much as you want to. Okay. Then you're going to go over here, and we're going to be matching some things up. So this seam should match up here. And then this fold right here should match up to your exterior. And you're going to want to fold that open. It's a really good spot to staple. All right, so I'm matching up my seam there. Opening this, and see how the fold matches up with the vinyl there too for that seam. It's what you want. Okay, just gonna go ahead and line up some more of these straight edges first. So, looks a little funky, I know. Now we are going to work on the curves, and we do need to cut some snips, but I think I want to staple some of these other parts together before I go any further. Just right now I know they're in the right spots. I'm gonna take my snips, and you're really not going in too far. You do not want to get to your seam allowance. These are my favorite scissors. I didn't know where they were for a little while, but I found them. They're in my Amazon storefront, but I like that the blade is shorter, so it's a lot easier for me, like, making these little snips like this, because I don't have to open the scissors as much, so it doesn't hurt my hands. All right, and then the gusset. Okay, so you should be able to just kind of fan out the gusset now, and it should, like, perfectly fit. Looks so good. And I will definitely put staples in. I don't want this to shift at all. Okay, and then for the lining, I try not to stress about my lining as much. Okay, we're ready to sew. So you're going to sew with the gusset up. And then we'll go ahead and start at the bottom. And you are using a larger seam allowance when you get to the lining. And when you do the curves, definitely just take your time. The last thing you want is a pucker. Okay, so there is a bit of bulk here. Like you have that zipper like right there. Just be careful. Okay, so I've made it into the lining now. I can start to go in with my seam allowance. I feel like my bobbin is gonna go soon. We'll see. Okay, now we've made it around that other curve. I'm going to slowly start taking my seam allowance back up or lower. The last thing you want to do when you're changing your seam allowance is to just like completely abruptly do it. I have so many clips sitting here. Okay, so we made it all the way around. We need to take our staples out. Okay, staples are out. So she does tell you to check that your seams are good while you're stitching before you get there. I went a little past that. Okay, so now we are going to start trimming. You're going to trim down your seam allowances, and around the lining curves you can use pinking shears, and then on these exterior curves we're going to snip into. So I'm going to go ahead and just use my pinking shears for all of my lining, and I'm also not cutting into my seams like where I've sewn the lining gusset together. Well, I guess all of the gusset. You can reinforce stitches. She does say that in the pattern too. But there is my lining trimmed down. And then for this exterior, we are making snips. So another thing that I really like about these scissors is they're really sharp and they cut well. Because we are cutting through several layers right here. But you're just taking out from your seams. This is going to help the curve sit better. And if you didn't get it good enough, you can just go back in. There we go. All right, so I'm going to do that to the other side here. I was going too fast when I was cutting, and I was not snipping all the way. So a very important thing when you are doing this is that you do not snip all the way to your stitches. I don't want to say you'll like ruin your bag if you do that, but it's not going to be good. You're gonna really have to work to fix it. So okay, there we go. That's better. Okay. So we can trim down these straight edges some as well. Like I said, I'm just not snipping into my stitches. You want to take a look and see a little preview. Oh my gosh. It's so cute. So So, also could have done this before I snipped all that, but oh, it's gonna be so cute. All right, now we get to repeat what we just did to the other side. Okay, so the note, open your zipper pockets. Okay. I'm just making sure here. All right, so we are going to do everything we just did, and then we have this zipper pocket that we're going to birth this through. So we'll just repeat everything we just did. I'm going to go ahead and speed this up so you don't have to watch me do the exact same thing. Gusset is on. It looks so funky, but I'm so ready to see it. Okay, so we have the zipper pocket. We just need to reach in and turn the bag through this pocket. Thankfully, it's a pretty decent size opening. I still struggle birthing literally any bag half the time though. It's like I've exerted all my energy making the bag. So then, why do I have to birth it? I'm kidding, it's not that bad. It just takes a moment. Okay. That didn't hurt. Okay. So I'm just pressing out the bag a little bit here. Ooh, it all matches up pretty darn good. That's a little off, but it's looking good. Okay, so has you push everything in first. So I guess I'll leave that in there for a second. You can close these zippers here. It's so cute. Okay, and then once you've made sure everything sits nice, you're going to pull up the zipper pocket lining. And we have that fold, which I kind of unfolded briefly. But I'm just going to make sure that all lays flat. If I would have used an iron, it would have been better. But you'll just want to make sure, get that folded back down. If you hear a random noise, George decided to jump up on the shelf in my closet, and now I think he's upset with what he's done. Anyways, all right, so we have that. We just need to sew that closed. Make sure you're only sewing the zipper pocket. You could put a woven label here if you want. George is knocking things off the shelf now. All right, and then go ahead and trim those threads. Push the lining back into that pocket. And make sure the corners are poked down. You can go ahead and close up the zipper pocket. So, oh my gosh, you can still see the little kitty faces. Just barely, but you can. Okay, just pressing out the bag as much as I can. So cute. Oh my gosh. I love it so much. All right, we need to finish it. Okay, so she says that you can put some glue in here to help this close up. It doesn't bother me, so I'm going to skip the glue because I don't want to make a mess. But now we're ready to add our D-ring connectors and our crossbody strap. George, what's wrong? What's wrong, George? You want to come up? I think he's going to come up here. There you go. What's wrong, bud? All right. So we have... You can take the paper piece or your template piece and you're going to make marks where you need to punch holes. So we're going to do that on both of these. All right. Okay, we'll still need those in a minute. Also gonna need a couple of rivets. Okay, we're done sewing. The cats are under my table, so I don't want them to step on the pedal. Okay, you're gonna want to find the front and back. Apparently got a little bit of edge paint on there, but you're going to take the D-ring. Oh no, my gloss coat either isn't sticking or it's still wet. Not good. Thought I let it dry enough. It's okay. It's all right. All right, you're gonna want to line up the holes together so it's in the right spot. And then you definitely just want to make sure this is very flat. And you're going to fold this over so that the D-ring can still move, but it's pretty flush. You're going to want to take a look, make sure that it's centered, and then make a mark. So I like to punch just above the mark because I probably didn't give myself enough room. So you're going to punch your hole through all of your layers. So make sure you're doing this in the right spot. George. Now he's on top of my cylinder arm. It's never dull here. Okay, so you're going to put the rivet through, fold that over, put your rivet cap on. And then you're going to repeat that for the other side as well. Trying to fold this in hopes that I don't drag the D-ring on the edge paint. I really thought it was dry, but maybe I was wrong. Okay, same thing over here. And like I said, I'm just gonna punch the hole right above where I marked. And I mean, like when I'm saying right above, I'm doing like a 1/16 of an inch. Okay. And there it is. The only thing I have left to do is to set the rivets and finish the crossbody strap and put the strap on. So it is so stinking cute. I love it so much. It's so cute. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you haven't already subscribed, I would love if you did. And have a great day. Bye.